Right, ready to jump back in time. Today we're taking a deep dive into some ancient texts, hidden wisdom, visions, the kind of stuff that would make even Nostradamus do a double take.
We're talking about the Book of Enoch, specifically the parables of Enoch. This text has been debated, revered, even condemned over the centuries.
It's not just some, old scroll gathering
No,
dump.
absolutely not.
This book had a huge impact, shaping early religious thought, even influencing some of the church fathers. It's like we get to look directly into the minds of our ancestors and try to understand how they viewed, the cosmos, their place in it, all that.
Exactly. And the parables, well, they give us this incredibly vivid, detailed look at the lead up to the flood.
Okay.
A story, I mean, you think you know, but the parables add a whole new layer of symbolism, cosmic drama.
Okay, I'm intrigued. So set the stage for us. What's the basic idea behind these parables?
Well, it all begins with Enoch. He's not just a scribe, he's a prophet, a seer. He's given these incredible visions, glimpses into the heavens, the underworld, even the future. And these visions, they're not just random, they're carefully structured, layered with meaning. They offer insights into ancient cosmology, angelology, beliefs about the afterlife.
So it's like he's on a guided tour of the universe, VIP pass to all the hidden realms.
Yeah, he could say that. And what's interesting is Enoch's not just watching, he's actually interacting in these visions.
Really?
He talks to angels, he gets warnings, he's even tasked with recording these events for, future generations.
Wow. Okay, so let's dive into the first parable, chapter 37. What's going on there?
Well, Enoch's shown a vision of this dwelling place for the elect one, this messianic figure who will usher in, righteousness.
Right.
This figure, he's described as a son of man, which is interesting.
Why is that?
Well, this term, it later becomes central to both Jewish and Christian messianic expectations.
Oh, I see. So it's like a sneak peek, a glimpse into the future where, good wins out.
Exactly. And the imagery is amazing. Enoch describes the dwelling place as this mountain of iron, bronze, silver, gold, choice stone, symbolizing strength, permanence, divine presence.
Sounds impressive. The ultimate fortress, but, made out of jewels and precious metals.
Yeah, and surrounded by this fiery stream representing judgment, purification.
Oh.
Only the righteous can approach it.
So this messianic era, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There's some serious judgment happening too.
Right. It's about both justice and renewal.
Okay, we've got the future, a place of righteousness, divine presence. But what about the present? What's going down during Enoch's time?
Well, chapter 38 shifts focus to the present, to all the corruption, wickedness spreading across the earth.
Oh.
Enoch sees these sinners being judged, their deeds weighed on a divine scale, and those found wanting. They're driven from the face of the earth.
Oh, so it's like a cosmic court drama with the fate of humanity hanging in the balance.
Exactly. And it's not just about punishment. This judgment is about restoring balance, purging the world of evil so that the righteous can, thrive.
Okay, we've seen the good, we've seen the bad. But chapter 39, now things get really interesting there, right?
Yeah.
Enoch sees the heavens and has this encounter with the head of days.
You got it. This is one of the most vivid and awe-inspiring chapters in the whole book. Enoch is taken up into the heavens. He passes through these layers of the cosmos until he's right there in the presence of God.
Wow. So it's like a cosmic elevator?
Yeah.
Straight to the top floor.
Exactly. And the head of days, the description is incredible.
Okay, tell me about it.
This ancient figure with hair white as wool, clothing even whiter than snow, fire surrounds him. His throne is like blazing flame.
Whoa, that is intense.
Right. It's this fusion of power and purity, something both terrifying and beautiful.
Totally.
And it's important to remember, this is all happening within ancient Israelite religion, which was strictly monotheistic. So this imagery of the head of days, it's incredibly significant. It's emphasizing God's absolute power, transcendence.
So it's not just a cool visual, it's a whole theological statement.
Exactly. It's affirming there's only one God, and he's the ultimate power in the universe. And in the presence of this ultimate authority, Enoch sees another figure, the Son of Man.
Hold on. The Son of Man. That phrase is loaded, especially in Christian theology.
You're right, and it's fascinating to see it here in the Book of Enoch, centuries before the New Testament.
Wow.
This Son of Man, he's described as being hidden with God before creation.
Okay.
And he's given dominion over the earth and all its inhabitants.
So he's like a cosmic prince waiting to inherit his kingdom.
Exactly. And this figure, he's going to play a key role in the coming judgment.
Oh.
He'll separate the righteous from the wicked and usher in a new era of peace and justice.
Okay, so we've got the head of days, we've got the Son of Man and Enoch right there in the middle of this cosmic drama. What happens next?
Well, in chapter 40, Enoch's shown this vision of the final judgment. He sees the righteous being rewarded. They're clothed in these garments of glory, entering a paradise filled with joy and abundance.
Sounds pretty good. Is this, heaven?
It's certainly a depiction of paradise. But it's important to remember that ancient ideas about the afterlife, they were quite different from later beliefs. This paradise, it's described as being on earth, a transformed reality where righteousness is the norm.
Okay, so it's less about going up to heaven and more like heaven coming down to earth.
Exactly. And this vision of a renewed, righteous earth, it's a powerful message of hope, especially given all the corruption and wickedness that Enoch's been seeing.
So the good guys get their reward. But what about the bad guys? What happens to them?
Enoch sees them being punished, cast into this fiery abyss where they suffer torment and anguish.
Yikes. It's not all sunshine and roses then. There are some serious consequences for those who, stray from the path.
Right. This judgment theme is central to the parables, a warning to the people in Enoch's time, and it's a message that, still resonates today.
Definitely. Okay, so we've got visions of judgment, glimpses of paradise. We've met the head of days and the Son of Man. What else does Enoch see in these early chapters?
Well, chapter 41 is where things get surreal. Enoch starts having these dreams, visions even more cryptic and symbolic than before. Stars falling from heaven, animals transforming, a bull giving birth to an elephant.
Hold on, that's some seriously weird stuff. What's going on there?
Well, these dreams, they're meant to be symbolic, obviously, but the exact interpretation, scholars still debate it.
I see.
Some think they're foreshadowing the flood. Others see warnings about apostasy, idolatry.
Okay, so it's like a cosmic puzzle with these strange images and symbols we got to figure out.
Exactly. And these dreams, even though they're hard to interpret, they add another layer to the parables, another layer of complexity, mystery.
I'm definitely intrigued. So we've got falling stars, bulls giving birth to elephants, a whole lot of symbolism. What happens next in Enoch's psychedelic journey?
Chapter 42 is where we hit one of the most enigmatic and debated sections. It's called the animal apocalypse.
Animal apocalypse. Sounds like something out of, I don't know, a heavy metal album cover.
It does, doesn't it? It's a vision that's both fascinating and, well, really hard to understand. Enoch sees all these animals.
Okay.
Each one representing different groups of people, historical events. Sheep, wolves, eagles, oxen, bears, even a wild ass, all acting out the symbolic drama that spans centuries.
Okay, so like a cosmic zoo, but with a hidden meaning behind every growl and every moo.
Exactly. And scholars have been trying to decode those animal symbols for years,
Really?
drawing connections to historical events, social hierarchies, even astrological signs.
Wow, so it's like this code we're trying to crack, a message from the past we still haven't fully understood.
Exactly. The animal apocalypse, even though it's so mysterious, shows us just how complex and deep the Book of Enoch really is.
All right, so we've got talking animals, cryptic dreams, visions that would make a modern-day prophet scratch their head. What's next in Enoch's wild ride through the cosmos?
Well, in chapter 43, Enoch has this vision of the heavenly tablets, books holding the secrets of the universe. He's shown God's decrees, the laws governing creation, the destinies of all living beings.
Wow, so it's like he's granted access to the cosmic library, the ultimate source of knowledge and wisdom.
Exactly. And this vision reinforces Enoch's role as this guardian of knowledge, this scribe tasked with preserving those divine secrets for, well, everyone who comes after him.
Okay, so Enoch's taking notes, soaking up all this cosmic wisdom. What happens next? Does he go home, or is there more to see?
There's more. Chapter 44, Enoch has another encounter with the angels. They show him the secrets of the heavens,
Oh,
the movements of the stars, the cycles of the sun and moon, the mysteries of time.
wow, a crash course in astrophysics, but from the angel's perspective.
Exactly. And it highlights how important it is to understand the natural world, the rhythms of creation, our place in it all.
Okay, so Enoch's learning about stars, planets, the secrets of time. What else do the angels reveal?
Well, in chapter 45, they show him the underworld,
The underworld.
the realm of the dead. He sees the souls of the departed, the righteous and the wicked, and learns about the different judgments they face.
So it's like Dante's Inferno, but with an Enochian twist.
You could say that. And this vision of the underworld, even though it's different from later ideas of hell, it reinforces that theme of judgment, the consequences of our actions.
Okay, so Enoch's seen the heavens, he's seen the underworld. What happens next? Does he finally get to go home and, I don't know, take a nap?
Well, in chapter 46, he has another encounter with the head of days. This time he's shown a vision of the coming messianic kingdom,
Okay.
a time when righteousness will prevail, peace will reign, and the elect one rules over all nations.
Sounds pretty utopian. A world transformed by divine justice and mercy.
Exactly. And this offers such a powerful message of hope, a reminder that even amidst the corruption and wickedness of the present, a brighter future is possible.
Well, I'm definitely ready for some good news after all those visions of judgment in the underworld. Does Enoch get any more insight into this messianic kingdom?
He does. In chapter 47, he's shown this vision of the righteous gathering.
Okay.
All those who stayed faithful to God, they're described as stars shining brightly in the heavens.
Beautiful imagery.
Right. It symbolizes their enduring hope and their future glory.
So like a cosmic reunion, celebrating those who chose the path of righteousness.
Exactly. And this vision emphasizes how important community is, supporting each other in our spiritual journeys and staying strong in our faith, even when surrounded by darkness.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, so we've got visions of judgment, visions of paradise, visions of the messianic kingdom. Is there anything else Enoch sees in these early chapters?
Well, chapter 48 is where we meet one of the most enigmatic figures in the whole book, the Son of Woman.
Wait, the Son of Woman, that's different from the Son of Man we talked about before, right?
Right. This figure, they only appear briefly in the parables, and their identity, their role is still a mystery.
Oh?
Some scholars think this figure might be a female counterpart to the Son of Man. Others see them as a symbol of wisdom or the community of the righteous.
Okay, so another riddle wrapped in an enigma, a figure we're still trying to figure out.
Exactly. And even though the Son of Woman's appearance is short, it adds another layer of complexity and intrigue to the parables.
Well, I'm hooked on this ancient mystery thriller. What happens next in Enoch's cosmic adventure?
Well, in chapter 49, Enoch comes back to Earth. His mind is filled with all these visions and revelations. He's tasked with sharing this knowledge, warning people about the coming judgment, urging them to choose righteousness.
So he's like the prophet returning from the mountaintop, carrying this message of both warning and hope.
Exactly. And this marks a turning point. From here on, the parables shift focus. It's less about Enoch's personal visions and more about his teachings, his advice to his family, future generations.
Okay, so it's moving from this cosmic epic to a more personal and intimate narrative.
Exactly. And this shift lets us see how these experiences shaped Enoch's understanding of the world, his relationship with his family.
I'm really interested to hear what wisdom Enoch has to share after all these journeys.
So we're back, diving deeper into those parables of Enoch.
We left off with Enoch, back on Earth, head probably still spinning from those cosmic visions. Now he's got to, explain all this to his family, future generations. No easy task.
Oh, I can imagine. Trying to put those experiences into words, it'd be like coming back from, I don't know, another dimension and trying to describe it to someone who's never even left their hometown.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
Yeah.
So where do we pick up the story? What does Enoch actually do with all this knowledge?
Well, in chapter 50, we see Enoch gathering his children, his grandchildren. He knows he doesn't have much time left, so he's determined to pass on everything he's learned.
It's like he's writing his spiritual will and testament, making sure his wisdom survives.
Exactly. And what's interesting is he doesn't just focus on the visions themselves. He emphasizes living a righteous life, following God's laws, avoiding all that corruption spreading through the world.
So it's not just telling cool stories. It's about, practical guidance for living a good life.
Exactly. That emphasis on morality, on ethics, it's key throughout the parables. It's not all cosmic spectacle. It's about the choices we make, the impact they have on us and the world around us.
Okay, so Enoch's giving his family the ultimate pep talk, urging them to stay true to their faith. But does he give specific advice, like practical tips for handling life's challenges?
He does. Chapter 51, he offers these proverbs, wisdom sayings. They cover everything from humility and compassion to, the dangers of greed and pride.
Ancient self-help guide with advice that's still relevant today?
Absolutely. Like he says, he who has mercy on the poor will lend to God, and God will repay him his good deeds sevenfold.
Yeah, that's timeless. Okay, so we've got visions, we've got warnings, we've got wisdom teachings. What else does Enoch have in store for his descendants?
Well, in chapter 52, things get really serious. He's talking to his son, Methuselah, specifically. He tells him a great flood is coming.
Hold on, is this the E-flood, the biblical one?
Yeah.
Noah, the ark, all that?
Exactly. And it's amazing to see this event foreshadowed in the Book of Enoch way before the traditional biblical account.
So it's like a sneak peek, a warning that judgment's on the way?
Exactly. And Enoch, he urges Methuselah to preserve the righteous lineage. Make sure that spark of goodness survives the coming deluge.
Like passing the torch and trusting his son with the future of humanity.
Right. And this theme, preserving that righteous line, it's crucial to understanding these parables. It's not just about individual salvation. It's about making sure goodness keeps existing in the world, even after a catastrophe.
Okay, we've got the flood warning, the importance of that righteous lineage.
Hmm.
What else does Enoch reveal to Methuselah?
Chapter 53, he gives his son this cryptic message about the future.
Oh.
He talks about a chosen one who will rise up, a righteous leader guiding humanity to a new era of peace and justice.
Wait, is this the Son of Man again? The one we talked about earlier?
It's possible the identity of this chosen one, it's left open to interpretation.
Okay.
But it's clear Enoch sees hope for the future, even with judgment looming.
So a glimmer of light at the end of the tunnel. Even after the flood, goodness has a chance.
Exactly. This message of hope, it's powerful, especially after all the warnings and judgments in the earlier chapters. It reminds us that even in dark times, renewal and redemption are possible.
I like that. Okay, so flood warnings, cryptic messages, a glimmer of hope. What happens next?
Well, chapters 54 and 55, things take an interesting turn. Enoch starts talking about astronomy, the movements of those heavenly bodies, cycles of the sun and moon, constellations, even the concept of a leap year.
Wait, a leap year, like the extra day we add to February?
Exactly, and it's fascinating to see this in the Book of Enoch.
Yeah.
It shows these ancient writers had a pretty sophisticated understanding of astronomy, how to keep time.
So it's not just visions and prophecies, it's also practical knowledge, scientific observation.
Right. These astronomical chapters highlight how important it is to understand the natural world, those rhythms of creation, our place in it all.
Okay, so we've got astronomy, prophecies, wisdom teachings. Is there anything else Enoch shares with his descendants?
Chapter 56 is where we hit one of the most controversial points of the parables, the Book of Noah.
Book of Noah. So is that different from the one in the Bible?
That's the debate. Some scholars think it might have been a separate text that was later added to the Book of Enoch. Others see it as just part of the overall story.
Okay, so a book within a book, story within a story.
Exactly. And this Book of Noah, it recounts this vision Noah has before the flood.
Okay.
He sees the heavens collapsing, the earth swallowed by an abyss, all creation destroyed.
Intense, like a preview of the apocalypse.
It is, and this vision really troubles Noah. He prays to God, seeking understanding and guidance.
So he's not just building a boat, he's wrestling with the spiritual implications of what's coming.
Exactly. And God answers Noah's prayer, revealing the plan for salvation, the promise of a new covenant.
So it's not just destruction, it's about renewal, a new start.
Exactly. That theme of hope amidst judgment, it's key to understanding the Book of Noah. Even after devastating events, there's always the possibility of starting over, humanity making things right.
I like that. Okay, vision of the flood, Noah's prayer, promise of a new covenant. What else happens in this Book of Noah?
Well, at the end of chapter 56, there's a quick mention of Noah's sons being born, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Might seem like a small detail, but it's important.
Why is that?
Well, according to the Bible, these three sons, they're the ancestors of all the nations on earth. So by mentioning their birth, the Book of Noah is subtly connecting the flood story to the future of humanity.
Wow, so even after the flood, the story continues. That's pretty clever.
It is. And that brings us to the end of chapter 56, the conclusion of the Book of Noah within the parables.
Okay, we've covered a lot. Visions, prophecies, wisdom, astronomy, even a glimpse into Noah's story. But what about Enoch? What happens to him and the rest of the parables?
The next part focuses on a whole new set of visions, even more cryptic and symbolic than before. Enoch's taken on another journey, witnessing the secrets of heaven, the mysteries of creation itself.
Okay, I'm ready for another dose of cosmic weirdness. All right, we're back, ready to wrap up our deep dive into the parables of Enoch. You were saying that these final chapters, they get even wilder, right?
Oh, absolutely. The visions, they become so complex, so symbolic. It's like Enoch's going deeper and deeper into this cosmic mystery.
Okay, I'm hooked. Where do we pick up? What's the first stop on this last leg of Enoch's journey?
Well, chapter 57, this is where we meet one of the most intriguing symbols in the whole book, the Tree of Life.
The Tree of Life. Isn't that like more of a mythology thing, fantasy story?
You see it there, yeah. But it's also this powerful symbol in lots of religions, Judaism, Christianity. In the book of Enoch, the Tree of Life, it represents like the source of all goodness, wisdom, eternal life.
So not just any tree. This is like the ultimate good, the goal of existence, all that.
Exactly. And Enoch, he describes it so vividly. More beautiful than any other tree, fragrance filling the world, its fruit grants immortality.
Wow, that's tempting. Like the ultimate reward for those who choose the right path.
Right. It reinforces that theme of hope and renewal we keep seeing in the parables. Even amidst the warnings, the judgment, there's this promise of ultimate good, of life that never ends.
Okay, so Enoch's seen the Tree of Life, the source of all good. What happens next?
Chapter 58, he has another vision of heaven. This time, he sees the angels guarding God's throne. These celestial beings, they govern the stars, the cycles of time.
It's like he's backstage at the cosmic control room, the place where, the universe is run.
Right. And this vision, it emphasizes that order and harmony in creation, that web of connection that governs everything.
Okay, so Enoch's learning about the heavenly hierarchy, the angels keeping the universe running smoothly.
Yeah.
What else does he see?
Chapter 59, he's shown the secrets of the winds, the four winds that blew across the earth, bringing rain, storms, even destruction.
So now he's understanding those sources of nature, those elements that shape the world, influence our lives.
Exactly. This vision highlights the power of nature, that delicate balance that allows life to exist, the potential for both creation and destruction.
Okay, so we've got the Tree of Life, angels of heaven, winds of earth. What's the last stop on Enoch's journey?
Chapter 60. This is where we find one of the most enigmatic parts of the parables, the vision of the Ancient of Days.
Ancient of Days. Is that another name for the head of days, the one we talked about before?
Maybe. But some scholars think it might be different, like a more primordial, more transcendent aspect of God.
Okay, so we're going even deeper into the mystery here.
Right. And Enoch describes the Ancient of Days in these awe-inspiring, kind of terrifying terms. Ancient beyond all reckoning, hair white as snow, a throne like blazing fire, his voice like 1,000 thunders.
Wow, that's intense. Ultimate power, wisdom, and mystery all rolled into one.
Exactly. This vision really drives home that idea of God's transcendence, that absolute power, the ultimate mystery surrounding the divine.
Okay, Enoch's seen the Ancient of Days, the ultimate source of everything. What happens then? Does he finally go home?
He does. Chapter 61, we see Enoch back on Earth, mind brimming with visions and revelations. He gathers his family, his friends, shares his wisdom, urges them to live righteously.
It's like he's back from this intense spiritual retreat, ready to share his insights, inspire others to seek the divine.
Exactly. And that's the end of the parables. We've traveled with Enoch through heaven, the underworld, the heart of creation itself. We've seen judgment, hope, visions that defy easy explanation.
It's been quite a journey. As we wrap up, what are the key takeaways from these parables? What do you want listeners to remember?
I think the parables give us this incredible window into the religious imagination of the ancient world,
Yeah.
exploring judgment, hope, good and evil, the ultimate mystery of the divine.
And even though they were written centuries ago, the questions they wrestle with, they're still relevant today, right?
Yeah.
Our place in the universe, the meaning of life, the choices we make.
Exactly. And even with all the cryptic visions and symbols, the parables ultimately offer hope, a reminder that even in darkness and uncertainty, there's always that possibility of renewal, redemption, connecting to something bigger than ourselves.
Beautifully said. Well, there we have it, a deep dive into the book of Enoch's parables. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep seeking that light, even in the darkest of times.